Hello students, I am Sunil Kumar, PGT Commerce, Kendriya Vidyalaya Secretariat, Arkipuram. Let me welcome you to our another episode of Business Studies Class 12. Students, in our previous episode, we have discussed about the meaning of planning, definition, features, and importance of planning. And now, in our today's episode, we shall discuss about the types of plans. There are different types of plans which an organization has to form in order to carry out normal activities of a business organization. In it, the very first plan which is to be drawn by the organization are objectives. Objectives are the end results towards which all the organizational activities are to be directed. There are three levels of management in an organization. There is the top level of management, middle level of management, and lower level of management. And all the three levels of management, they have to direct their activities towards the attainment of organizational objectives. This is the task which is to be set by the top level of management. But the execution of the objectives will be from all the levels of management. At the top level, these are decided. At the middle level, these are correlated and coordinated. And the lower level, these are executed to the perfection. So, the very first plan is to be drawn is the objectives, which are always in quantitative terms, that may be increasing profits to a certain extent, increasing sales to a certain extent, or decreasing the cost of the production up to a certain extent. Now, our second type of plan which the organization must be having is strategy. Strategy is a spatial and comprehensive plan which is designed to outshine the competitors. The competitors who will be looking for the different activities all the time. They will be looking for our organization, that what type of plans we are going to draw, and they will be just making the plans which are superior to our plans. So it is depending upon the intelligence of our management that what type of plans they will draw and how and what type of plans the competitors are developing. And by developing a better plan as compared to the competitors' plan, we will be able to achieve what we would like to achieve. Students, let me take an example. Our business organization is expecting to launch a new product in the market. But in order to launch a new product, they have to seize the opportunities available in the market. They have to scan the external forces available in the environment. They have to look for all the moves which their competitors are making. It may be in the form of advertisements. If we have to take here an example, students, now you must have seen the advertisements on your TV screen that one company is saying, do dash. The another company is saying, all clear. So they are not naming the name of any company, but they are drafting their advertisement in such a way that they are going to attack their competitors' product. So here the business organization has to plan in such a way that the organization will give very tough competition to the competitors, and not only the tough competition, they have to make their product better in all respect as compared to the competitors. So while drafting the strategy, the organization has to focus on long-term objectives. The organization has to ensure that all the resources are ensured to achieve those activities, and a specific activity will be drawn to achieve that strategy. If an organization is able to do all these activities properly, then certainly the organization will be able to draft the strategy in such a way as the organization will give tough competition to all the competitors. So it is the most important type of plan which an organization must be drafting, which is secret in nature. Now, our third type of plan is policy. The policies are the general response of an organization towards the various problems or the situations which are arising in the future. Each organization will be having a separate solution for a particular problem. It doesn't mean the solution given by an organization, the same type of solution will be given by the another organization. The policy of a company may be selling the goods only on cash basis. It means no credit sales will be allowed to the customers. If they would like to buy the product of the company, they have to pay money immediately. Or maybe the company's policy is to give money to its creditors after a specified time period. So the policies are the general guidelines which are just telling the organization that when a particular situation is coming, then what type of response they have to give, what type of things they have to do in a particular situation. It's not like if the situation is coming, only then the solution will be there. If a situation which is not forecasted at the time of planning And if such type of situation is coming, then also it helps the organization in deciding that what type of solution should be provided to this particular problem or the situation. Now students, let me move to our another type of plan, that is procedure. You must have understood what is the meaning of procedure. Procedure means doing a particular task in sequence by following certain steps. So here the procedure is having the same meaning, that all the steps are divided into systematic parts, and each part is designed in such a way that the completion of first will give entry to the second one automatically. So these are the sequential steps to be performed to complete a particular business activity. Let me take an example of procedures. The organization may be following a procedure of employing a particular person in a proper way. You may be thinking, what is that proper way? The organization has to ask all the departments that how many vacancies are prevailing in these departments. Then the organization will just sum up all the posts which are vacant in the organization. They will publish this information in the newspapers or the magazines or in employment news. Educational qualifications, professional qualifications, and other type of qualifications are mentioned in the newspaper in advertisement. The people throughout the world, they will be reading that advertisement, and if they are fulfilling the requirement, either educational requirement, professional requirement, or the experience, they will certainly be sending their application to the business organization. And after the scrutiny of all the applications, the organization will call for the pre-test to all the candidates who are being selected in scrutiny. The candidates will be giving the test, and once the test is cleared, the candidates will be called for the main test. And ultimately, the selection of those candidates will be made who are just coming as best candidates in the lot available. So students, here you have understood a procedure. A person cannot be appointed first and then the test will be taken. There is a procedure that the first step should be taken first, and afterwards, step by step, all the activities are to be completed. So students, with the help of this example, you have understood that if we are completing a task in a proper way, in sequential steps, that is an example of procedure. Students, now our next type of plan is rules. The rules are the do's and don'ts in an organization. It tells an employee who is joining the organization that while working in the organization, these are the things which he is supposed to do, and these are the things with which he has to just be far away from these activities. So these are the do's and don'ts that comes in rules. So rules ensures discipline in an organization, and once the rules are broken, there should be a provision of penalty to be imposed on the employee who is not following the rules of the organization. The example of the rules is no smoking in an organization. So in a business organization, each and every worker, each and every manager, and the people sitting at the top level of management, they have to ensure that all the rules of the organization are properly taken out. And once these rules are taken out properly, discipline is maintained, employees are working the way they should be working, certainly the organization will be able to get maximum production. The maximum production will be converted into maximum sales, and ultimately the maximum sales will produce more amount of profits for the business organization. So students, now you have understood the importance of rules. It is only the rules which is establishing discipline in an organization and helping in the achievement of its objectives. Now let we have our next type of plan, that is programs. The programs are the combination of objectives, strategies, policies, procedures, rules. It's a combination of all. A program is a systematized and detailed activity which has to be performed by the business organization. The example of programs may be the construction of a shopping mall, maybe launching a new project in the market. If the company is, say, dealing in motors, and if the company is planning to introduce one motorbike in the market, so if they are going to develop a new project, that will be coming under programs. And in order to execute the programs, the business organization must carry out the objectives, strategies, policies, procedures, rules in such a way that the objective of the organization. Here, what is the objective of the organization, students? That is starting up and setting up of a project which will help the organization in extending its business. Our next type of plan are methods. Students, in our scientific management, we have studied that the father of scientific management, Mr. Frederick Winslow Taylor, has given the method study, which targets at the selection of the best method. How we can say the method is best? The method which reduces the cost and increases the profits certainly be the best method. And here the organization has to decide that what type of methods the business has to take up while carrying out the manufacturing process at the factory level. Mainly the methods are used for repetitive type of jobs and mainly meant for the executionary level of management. When the employees are working in the business organization, they will be working on the different machines. So how and what type of work they have to perform on those machines, the methods will be telling them that this is the way they have to do the work. This is the way they have to move, and unnecessary motions they have to just avoid in order to help the organization in achieving its production objective. So the methods, students, now it is clear, the methods are decided on the basis of cost effectiveness. The method which is decreasing the cost and increasing the profit is said to be the best method, and in planning the management has to do it. Now our last and the most effective type of plan is budgets. Budgets are always expressed in numerical terms, and it helps the organization in controlling over the expenses of the organization. You can understand the term budget very easily. At the beginning of each month, your mother or father students, they will be withdrawing 40,000 rupees say from the bank for their monthly expenditure, and now within 40,000 rupees they have to maintain their household expenses. Whenever they are going to buy something, they have to look for the budget, that how much money is left with the family, and the money can be spent on these expenses. So in this way, the budget helps in controlling the expenses of the business organization. The budgets can be drawn for a week, can be drawn for 15 days, for 1 month, or for quarterly or half yearly or annually. The business has to decide that what type of cash budget they have to make. The budget is not only required in financial terms. The budget may be the sales budget, maybe the production budget, the master budget. So there will be different type of projects, but the main objective of each and every project is only one, that is controlling the activities of the organization, which helps in generating more and more income, more and more profits for the organization. So students, these are the major types of plans which an organization must draw, must take up, so it will help in the generation of income, which ultimately helps in attainment of goals and ultimately the objectives of the organization. Now we have come to an end of this episode in which we have studied about the types of plans. In types of plans, we have studied about the objectives, strategy, procedures, rules, policy, programs, methods, and budgets. These are the ones which are must for the success of each and every organization. Now students, we'll just concentrating in our next episode, and we'll be discussing in that episode the limitations of planning. Thank you.